Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mark Loeffler Experience. Well, RBC has come out with a special housing report saying, whoa, whoa, we're living on a prayer. I know you all wanted to tune in to hear Mark sing today. Comment down below, how did I do? Did I hit it? Or not? It's fine. Be brutally honest. Everybody on the internet always is brutally honest. And I appreciate that we can all be keyboard warriors. Anyways, so special housing report from RBC. I get these reports, I read them, and then I look for a reaction on the news. So they basically said the Canadian housing market correction has run its course and it's going to gradually let up, right? And it's gradually letting up. Some areas are coming up quicker, some areas are lagging. They think that activity will hit a bottom sometime this spring. I'm going to say it probably already did, and we're starting to see more activity out there in the wild. This is just in Ontario, where we're basically seeing that rebound happening right now. So their forecast, so prices will level out a few months later, provided Bank of Canada is done raising interest rates, which they signaled yesterday that they are. This housing report came out a couple days before that, March 6th, actually. So 2 days before. All told, our forecast calls for a 15% peak to trough decline in national RPS home price index. Roughly half of that is still to come. So here's the difference. I use the Korea home price index, which is peak to trough probably, I don't know, 20% right now. Let's go on here and let's have a quick look. Year over year, 18.3%. Okay. So, but what they're calling for is really the point. So they think that, I think that we basically have hit bottom. I think we kind of had a little bounce. I don't think that bounce is sustainable, but I think we're in for a period of house prices not going up, which will help the RPS home price index. Anyways, what happens next will disappoint housing bulls. We see the recovery phase starting slowly later this year, as obviously there's an affordability issue and a weaker economy continue to hold back buyers. The pace should progressively pick up in 2024 once the economy clears its soft patch, inflation returns to target, and the Bank of Canada starts to reverse their interest rate increases. Obviously, so booming immigration will fuel demand through medium term, possibly beyond, raising the odds of a deep supply shortages in the future if home building does not pick up. Geez, where have we heard that before? Where have we heard that Where have we heard that hypothesis before? I don't know. Weird. I like I like it when smart people agree with me. And I think the people at RBC are pretty smart. They make a lot of money. So basically, we're at recession level amount of sales right now. It hasn't been this low since 2008, 2009, when the world went to hell in a handbasket. And Canada financing was fine, but everyone was so worried. There was so much fear out there that, nobody was buying anything. And that was like for a period of 6 months when Lehman Brothers collapsed. And then lo and behold, everyone woke up in the spring and said, wow, I can get cheap interest rates. I still have a job. And the people who bought during those 6 months made a heck of a lot of money. Similarly to the start of COVID, when I started this channel, you can go back and look at those videos where I said, hey, now's the time to buy and we'll probably make $100,000 in 2-3 months. And, if you held for a year, you probably made $500,000, right? I do believe that some areas will be ahead of the pack. So Ontario, possibly Atlantic Canada, while others, prairies and Quebec, might lag a bit. Now, obviously, Ontario has had the most tumultuous time of this. They've seen the highest run up in prices. They've seen some of the lowest lows. And again, they do lead the country with people moving in. Now, a lot of people move out after, but they do lead the country in people moving in. And again, They need to live somewhere, whether they rent or buy, whatever it is, they're going to do something. They need to live somewhere. So either investors are going to buy stuff for them to live in, or they're going to buy stuff and they're going to take things off the market. Bank is obviously calling for interest rates to come down, both long term and the short term, which would kind of help. Obviously, I said this too. So Bank of Canada is done. They think the Bank of Canada is done hiking rates. They called this in January when I went to their economic update. I was kind of the view that we still had a chance of getting another rate increase in March. But that's, again, didn't happen. But again, I don't think we see a rate decrease this year. I just don't see it happening unless really inflation comes under control and we see a bigger recession. It looks like, again, that their economic forecast that they delivered to us in January, that we should see a soft landing, maybe a small technical recession, maybe not even. The fourth quarter of last year, we had zero growth. This is what they're aiming for. The Bank of Canada is considering this a huge, huge win right now. Inflation's coming down, no growth. This is what they want to see. Jobs in the economy being taken up by the participation rate and not by increases in wages. Obviously, affordability is still a prime driver of real estate, and affordability is going to be a huge concern moving forward, especially in Ontario, because again, they're not building enough homes. So that means the sharp deterioration in the housing affordability since 2021 won't unwind quickly. Buyers will continue to face steep challenges, especially in BC, Ontario, and other expensive markets. Hey, we can all just move to Edmonton and live, 6 months of the year in snow and ice, but it's snowy outside here, and be able to afford a heck of a lot more. But again, that's not going to go anywhere quickly. They are obviously thinking it's going to come down in the future. Not just yet. They think it's going to get worse before it's going to get better. And that's really going to be interest rate driven, in my opinion, because I think prices from here on out are going to be relatively flat. So peak to trough national price declines during market downturns. You can see that they're predicting that this is going to be one of the largest. 1981 to 1982 was 9.7. And this is Royal LePage aggregate HPI. 91 is 6.7. 2008, 2009 was 3.5. 2017, 2018 was 1.1. And as you can see, the MLS, the Korea one, is about 3 times that. So 2022 right now, peak to date is 7.1. So it's not the word. We're not the 1980s yet. I don't think we're going to get there. But I mean, heck, they've been right on a heck of a lot of things so far, RBC. So do we get there? Possibly. But who knows? So prices have farther to drop in the near term. And I think, so in Ontario, southwestern Ontario, it's looking like things are leveling out. I think we're going to see tumultuous times. We're going to see prices up. We're going to see prices down. Might be typical spring market where we see prices increase a little bit and then come off a little bit throughout the summer with a slowdown in sales. But again, they're saying it's a solid market fundamentals. If you want to sell and you price your house properly, you're going to sell it quickly. So things are turning over there. It's not like the mobility of people is being affected because they can't sell homes or they can't buy homes right now. They can definitely do that. Obviously, home sale inventory is still super low. That is climbing, but we're not seeing. Look at where this peaked in 2008, and then people woke up and said, "Oh, I can still buy," and they bought all through 2009, and then again, if you were in 2009 October, you're like, "Oh, you got some good deals," and then boom, spring market. Made money. So is that time going to be like this time? I don't think so. They don't think so. They didn't think that back then either. They thought it was going to be more of a prolonged recession because of what was going on in the US at the time. But that was a product of their financial market seizing and banks just not loaning money. We've never had that issue in Canada yet. It may come at some point, but to today's time, we have not had that happen. And obviously, they're talking that home building is the key to a longer-term balance. We need more homes. They always talk about this being a Canadian problem. It's not a Canadian problem. It's a problem in a couple specific markets that have this issue, but it's not even an Ontario-wide issue. It's a Southwestern Ontario issue where they do not build enough homes because people want to live here. Here's where the jobs are. And they're not building enough homes or enough of living units where people can live. Home building has picked up over the last 3 years. Home completions rose from less than 190,000 in 2019 to roughly 220 in 2021, 2022. But they think we need to expand it to about 270,000 units per year by 2025. And, there was a couple factors that happened over the last year. Input costs rose like you wouldn't believe, like for supplies, lumber, drywall, everything. It just shot up, right? There was a lack of skilled trades. There's still a lack of skilled trade, but it's not as pronounced right now because it has slowed down a little bit on the renovation side, on the home building side. And so we're going to face a shortfall in the number of units coming on board over the next couple years. So we're going to face that same problem in 5 years, in 10 years, because again, we're not building enough homes. Here's the immigration targets. So 2022, 437. They're talking about obviously, 500,000 is the kind of the targets by 2025. We've never had that many people come into Canada. This was the first year we had over 400,000 was in 2021. Now we're, was it 450, 460? Again, 2023 and beyond is supposed to be 500,000 or more. They need some place to live. This is my economic thesis on why buying real estate in Canada works today, just as it worked 10 years ago, as it worked 20 years ago, is there's not enough supply for the demand. Therefore, prices will go up in the long term. Rents will go up in the long term because they're not fixing the fundamental problem of, in Ontario specifically, I think there's too much government interference, and I think that could be fixed, but there's no political will to do it. And the people won't get together to have the political will to fix it. Anyways, guys, comment down below. How was my singing? Do you agree with this report? Are we basically at the bottom and we're going to be flat? Do you think we're going to go to the trough? Do you think we're going to go down? Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Always interested. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you next time.